something that's gonna be, I would say, critical for your success. Um, did you currently look for? So I guess if you are doing this lesson about dividing your ads accounts, you are kind of familiar with Google Ads. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. So I guess you've been doing all this, I would say, research about what keywords to target, which niche to target, of course, which landing page to use. But structuring your account is, when I audit a website, when I audit a Google Ads account, I would say it's 50% of success come from the structure and the architecture. So you gotta make sure that you structure your campaign and your ad group based on your budget, based on efficiency, effectiveness, and of course how easy it's gonna be for you to manage, because you can't afford to spend all of your day 8 hours per day, 5 days per week on Google Ads, right? You gotta spend your time. You gotta be efficient and spend your time where the money is. So try to spend, I would say, the minimum amount of time into Google Ads, and this will be doing so by really fine structure. All right, I'll build something for you. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, here it is. All right, yes. So I'm going to speak only about direct response marketing, which is I would say, when people are looking directly for your brand names or the service or slash product you are selling, which is the, I would say, most common form of Google Ads advertising you're going to find on the web. So basically, you're going to find three different, I would say, business unit or topic where you can divide your campaign. So the first one would be brand search. Brand search would be basically your brand names, and you will see into detail later. Non-brand search, which can be your verticals or your industry you're serving, and of course, remarketing. So I would highly recommend, to divide your account under 3 different campaigns. So create one campaign around your brand search, create as many as campaign as you want around your product or services, and create at least one remarketing campaign. Those 3, I would say, are compulsory. The brand search, though, is, I would say, really useful, or actually you can forget about it only if your competitor are not bidding on your brand, meaning that if you type your brand, you don't see your competitor name showing up, or if you already rank organically for your keywords, which if you already rank and you bid on your brand name, people might click on your ads and you're going to spend money for something they would still click because you are ranking number 1 for your brand name. So far, does it make any sense?
Yeah, so that means that if I am doing a campaign, I shouldn't put brand keywords in the same campaign with non-brand.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Try to divide. If you got a big picture in mind, divide your account into 3, I would say, big topics. The first one, your brand's name, compulsory. The second one, your services or your products. And the third one, the remarketing campaign.
Okay. And then another question, if I'm doing a brand search campaign, is
Right.
that where I would put the names of competitors as a keyword?
You can, but so you can bid on your competitor name, but I would recommend not to put your competitor name into your ads copy, because
Yes.
they can basically sue you for using their brand name into your ad copy.
But I could say, if someone is searching for Udemy, one of our competitors, I want our website to show up in the search results. I could do that.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. But for because the cost of someone looking for Udemy is going to be higher than someone looking directly for Listen Up, I would divide your brand campaign into different ad groups. I'm going to write right here. You can see my screen. So you get your brand campaign right here. And I would divide my brand campaign. So it could be at the campaign level and the ad group level. I would divide my ad group level into 3 different ad groups. It would be your brand, your brand plus modifier, which can be, in case of Lesson Up, that could be Lesson Up pricing, for example, or reviews, like any modifier, like meaning external words or other than your brand's name. And I would also do your competitor. Try to be careful with your competitor because there is this kind of non-spoken rule with Google Ads. If none of your competitor bid on your brands, try avoid bidding on their brands.
Oh.
It's like a declaration of war, right?
Oh. But
And it depends because Udemy, they got huge marketing budgets, and if they decided to bid on your brand name because they saw that you bid on their brand names, they might outrank you into Google Ads.
so they can tell if I am
Uh,
bidding, if I guess I didn't realize that Udemy would be able to see that I.
they can see it. They can see it only if they type Udemy into Google and they see your ads.
Right. Of course. Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, if it is just like, okay, and so then that's how the beast finds out about the new emerging competitor. And if I just didn't touch the sleeping beast, they never find out. Okay, got it.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. If it's the other way around, if you suddenly type Lesson Up and you see Udemy coming up, even though you didn't do anything, I would recommend first trying to reach out to the person managing the Google Ads account for your competitor and try to come to an agreement. Or if they do not want to hear anything, you can then it's free highway for you bid on their brand name.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be the ad group or the campaign that bring you the most of customers at the best cost possible.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's terrifying.
it's terrifying. But on the pros, I would say pros and cons for each ad groups. Pros here, if you don't rank, you will be number 1, right? Because Google Ads. Cons, it will cost you money because only for people clicking on your brand name. And I'll go straight for your competitor. Competitor is going to be really costly because bidding on the competitor name, your cost per click can, they can go up above dollars, $10, $20. It can be really, really expensive. But the cost per conversions can be really, really high. Really, really low. Sorry. The cost per conversion can be really interesting, which can be, it's not on cons, it's on pros. Sorry, I mix it up a bit. So that would be the way I would do for structuring your brand campaign. And now that you structure your brand campaign, you can focus on your service campaign. So in case of Lesson Up, you can be, so that could be digital marketing lesson, right? And then you can divide all your campaign into different ad groups talking about these topics. So that can be digital marketing lessons, that could be Google Ads lessons. And then you can put into this ad group, you can put all the keywords related to Google Ads lessons. So it could be learning Google Ads, how to do Google Ads, courses about Google Ads. And I would divide all this campaign around Google Ads lessons, then it could be SEO lessons, Google Analytics lessons.
Okay.
Basically, I would divide per verticals. Every time you get a specific landing page, every time you get a specific product, I would create an ad group based on that.
Okay, how many different groups should be in a campaign? Because if I really think about digital marketing, we could put social media marketing in digital marketing if we wanted.
Absolutely. There is absolutely not a golden numbers in terms of how much ad groups per campaign. But once again, think in terms of efficiency and effectiveness. Basically, if you got 40 different ad groups, it could take you a lot of time to manage everything.
Mhm.
But if you manage to squeeze everything into a 3 or 2 ad group, but really smart one, that can, I mean, it could take you less than an hour to manage everything.
What for you would be like? I really am thinking through this, digital marketing lesson versus adding one campaign for social media marketing. And then for social media marketing, it could be Facebook ads, it could be Instagram ads, it could be Pinterest.
Yeah, that would be a way of organizing.
It's like just a more narrow class.
Yes, there is definitely not, I would say, a specific recipe or a specific formula for constructing your campaign. And dividing per, I would say, global topics, it's definitely something that you should keep in mind. So yeah, you can divide, it can be digital marketing lessons, or it can be social marketing, or it depends if you want to go deeper. It can be specific like Facebook lesson, and on Facebook, you will have maybe, if you got specific lesson about managing your pixel or managing your brand's creatives on Facebook, or managing your ads on Facebook, it can be really something specific. Once again, it depends on how deep you can go and how much time can you afford to put on Google Ads.
Would the rule of thumb be that the more specific you can be, the more
the rule of thumb would be, if you get one landing page for these specific services, create one ad groups for these services.
I see. Okay.
Because if I remove this, so at the ad group level, then you get the keyword level and you get the ads copy level. For example, if you are betting on Google Ads lessons, you can bet on Google Ads lessons as a keyword and put this exact keywords on the ad copy. Meaning that people typing directly Google Ads lessons, they will see the ads copy talking about Google Ads. Whereas if people are typing, if you are also bidding on digital marketing lesson on the same ad group, people typing digital marketing might find Google Ads lesson. But on digital marketing, they get so many subjects, right? You can learn about SEO, you can learn about Google Analytics. And so Google Ads might be only the tip of the iceberg they want to learn.
Okay.
But not everything. So try to think of landing page segmentations. One landing page would be one ad group.
Okay. And then the landing pages that make up a sort of category would be in the campaign.
Absolutely, yes.
Got it. Okay, so that just comes down again to us really getting good at classifying our own content.
Yeah, right. So that would be how it's really simple, but this is super effective in terms of managing your account structure. What you're gonna notice, so that would be at the beginning of the account. Once you start spending money and gathering data, you might find that a specific ad group or a specific keyword is bringing most of the money, is spending most of the budget. In that case, you get two solutions. If these ad groups or specific keywords is bringing conversions, then I would definitely recommend taking this ad group out and creating a specific campaign around this specific ad group and keywords, where it can spend in own budget without touching the budget for other campaigns.
This makes sense. So it's really just streamlines exactly your dollars are spending specifically on this keyword and not this other keyword, which could confuse me. Okay, now I'm starting.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. In terms of spending, maybe you will find that this specific ad group is spending 19% of the budget, right? Leaving only 5% here and 5% here, which this is definitely not the ideal. At best, you want every ad group to receive a little bit of the spending, right?
Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to extract, if this ad group is bringing conversion, you want to extract this ad group and create a specific campaign around this ad group. Then you can put for this now campaign is on budget without touching the budget for those ad groups.
Got it.
And that's, I would say that 80% of my job. And now if you manage to learn this, you're Google Ads Pro now. I mean, this is super basics, but it all comes down to this: how you structure your campaign and what to do when you start gathering some data and money.
Yeah, I hadn't really understood the point of a campaign versus the ad group.
Right. It's nothing related to your performances. I mean, you can create as many campaigns as you want. You can create as many ad group per campaign as you want. At the end of the day, it all comes down to how you want to structure your account for your management and time and effort. I've picked this really simple website. You know me, Melinda. You know that I really love chartering and catamaran and boats.
Yes.
Yes, right. Because I've been managing a lot of websites and a lot of campaign for this specific industry. So this website is a simple directory of people that can rent a boat everywhere in Italy, everywhere in, you can see here in Europe, France, Spain, Croatia, the Caribbean, everywhere. Basically, if the owner of this website would ask me, all right, Pierre, can you manage my Google Ads? I would structure my ad groups per destination, meaning I would probably get a campaign. Right, let me, sorry, no problem here. Yes, just right here. I would probably get a campaign around specific destinations. So in terms of managing effectiveness for management, I would get a campaign per country. It could be Italy, France, Croatia, and then I would get ad groups per specific destination. That would be city 1. Then I would get another ad group, city 2, etc. So that would be, I mean, it all comes down because it's easy after that for me to manage everything, because I would get a clear view of, at the company level, which country is bringing me the most of the money, which country is working, which one is not, and at the ad group level, which city is bringing me the most of the money. If I were an e-commerce company selling shoes, for example, I would probably create a brand around shoes for men and shoes for women, and then I would get for my campaign for shoes, I would get definitely different categories such as boots, sneakers,
Okay.
and same. So it all comes down to how you want to manage your account and how simple and effective it can be.
Okay, so for the actual platform Google, if I set up a campaign and have 3 Google ad groups and I set a budget, am I setting a budget for each ad group or for the campaign overall?
For the campaign overall. That is why it can be dangerous, because you can notice that maybe my boots ad groups is spending, I would say 90% or 80% of the campaign budget, leaving absolutely just crumbles for the other ad groups.
Okay, so it's setting up those categorizations to figure out within a category what's actually going to get you the most conversions. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah, right. And I think instead of structuring your campaign, structuring your ad groups, I think that's all. I don't see anything else to teach right now.
Yeah, no, I think
no, it's really basics. It's super basics, but at the end of the day, once again, it all comes down to landing page segmentations, categories, basic categories, and how much time and management and effectiveness of the account.
Yeah, and I would say it's really basic when you lay it out like this on a spreadsheet, but when I'm actually in the Google Ads platform and it just sort of walks me through and, okay, you created a campaign and now create an ad group. I did not understand why or how many ad groups I would create and what that did with the budget, but this clarifies it.
Yeah. In terms of creating the account, I would definitely recommend you using what is called Google Ads Editor, which is an external tool made by Google, and it's super easy to build campaign and ad groups. You can, the difference than Google Ads, I mean, the Google Ads, the software on the internet, you can basically copy and paste keywords, ad groups, so you can create at scale it can take you just in less than 10 minutes. You can create a full account with hundreds of ad groups and hundreds of campaigns.
Oh, geez, I never should have done anything with Google Ads until doing this lesson. Did anyone else have questions, by the way?
I do have a quick question, Pierre.
Yeah.
So in terms of the threshold for splitting out an ad group into its own campaign, you mentioned 90%, and I get
Right.
the rhetorical number. I assume that that's based on, let's say we have a campaign and it has 5 ad groups in it. So you'd expect 20% each. So where would you see the threshold there? Is it when it's doubling? Is it at like 40%, if it's getting 40 or 50%, or it just depends on?
Yeah, I would say 80%, 80-20.
80,
If
okay.
80-20, yeah. That's my golden numbers, golden rule, and I think that's the same for. It's a good way, and it's pretty easy to remember. But definitely yes, and it also gonna depend on your business objectives.
Mhm.
If you want to sell more specific products or specific lessons, then I would definitely recommend you isolating this product into its specific campaign so you can perfectly spend your entire budget around this product.
Yeah, it seems like a really important moment, right? When you decide like, okay, this is going to be its own campaign, even though
Yep.
it's, because I get, this really, really was well presented in the campaigns that are the more general, and you get into the ad groups are the more specific, and they sort of work inside of that, but then they can grow into their own thing. And I didn't realize that.
They
And I
definitely can grow, yeah.
marketing
But
for a long time, and I never realized that wasn't that side of it. But I'd hear these words, or I'd hear this thing, and never realized that you could split off your ad group into its own campaign, and that's kind of an amazing thing. That's cool.
it is, yes. But on the other side, maybe you will notice that 1 or 2 or 3 or your ad groups are not performing at all. Then instead of isolating one specific ad group, the one that is working, into a specific campaign, I would just stop all the other ad groups,
Mhm.
just pause it, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's really rule of thumb, and there is no specific formula or golden recipe. I think it's just come down with experiences, and you'll see the numbers. The numbers don't lie. If you see a campaign that is profitable, then it's perfect. It's all right. But if you see that you're spending and most of the money on something that is not profitable, something wrong, and you got to do something with it.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I suppose if you split something out to a campaign and it doesn't do as well, then
Yes.
that you
Right.
you need to adjust your numbers up, or we can always test a 70-30, something like that, right? It just depends. It's going to be very specific, probably our situation, or but 80-20 is an interesting, that's helpful. It's easy to
Yeah,
remember.
the Pareto law. Yeah.
Yeah. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Pierre.
No, pleasure as always. But once again, it's really nothing complicated. This is not rocket science. I was really bad at mathematics when I was a kid, and even I can manage this. So yeah.
Well, that's good news for me. Math was never my strong suit, but this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and the goal is, these 20-minute lessons. We're already a little over time, so thanks for
It's no
answering
problem.
questions. Pierre, this was awesome. I will let everybody get back to their busy days, and just big thank you.
Yeah, good luck everyone, and speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Pierre.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.